Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Tobago Updates morning show. It is Friday the 15th of May. We have come to the end of another week. I want to say thank you for staying with us throughout the week up until this point. I'm your host, Renessa Ortiz, and I'm joined in studio by Alex Brown. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Renessa. Good morning, viewers. How are you doing this morning?
I am good. I'm happy that it is the end of the week. The opportunity to rest and rejuvenate for the upcoming week.
Indeed it is. It's been a challenging week, but we've made it through.
We have made it through. So viewers joining us on YouTube, Facebook, AMPLIA, Flow, Digicel, we want to say thank you for making Tobago Updates your #1 station. But before we get any further into the programming this morning, we head on over to news in 90 seconds. The search for 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza has entered its 4th day. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine confirmed that THA has deployed all available resources, including TEMA, specialized divers, and thermal drones to support the search, emphasizing that it takes a village to protect a child. The Chief Secretary expressed deep concern over the unanswered questions, urging Tobagonians to be more vigilant of its most vulnerable. This year's 39th Tobago Heritage Festival will operate with a $6.5 million budget, a $1.6 million increase over the last year. Addressing the orange economy, the Chief Secretary also issued a directive to the Division of Tourism to clear all outstanding 2024 debt to its cultural ambassadors. Tobago Carnival 2026 will officially launch on May 29th. Ahead of the launch, the Festival's Commission will hold a full budget briefing. In more cultural news, the public is reminded that applications for the George Stanley Beard Scholarship in Tourism and the Arts are open until May 31st. The scholarships honor the late icon's progressive ideas for the island's development. And finally, as the National Media Review takes place today, the THA is seeking a $60 million allocation to begin work on the new Scarborough Secondary School. The Chief Secretary noted that final decision consultations with staff and students are scheduled for the first week of June. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for the full newscast. Alex, we're still seeing talks about little Tobias, little Angelo.
It is very distressing.
It is day 4.
I am wondering how his parents are holding.
You're wondering?
I am wondering if I am struggling to deal with it. I'm wondering. It's a little more unsettling that yesterday we saw the police saying that they have now involved Homicide Bureau. And that starts to turn the questions in another direction, and again,
a direction we were hoping
that we would not turn. And again, viewers, we're not pointing fingers at anybody. We're just saying that this is really a troubling situation, and probably the Chief Secretary said it right. We have to reconsider how we protect the vulnerable among us.
Indeed, and we're really hoping that in some way, shape or form during this entire process that the family gets the support that they need, because this is no easy feat at all.
Cannot be.
This is no easy feat, and I think right now community and that support is really critical and crucial, because as you said, we don't know how the family is holding up at this point in time, and we're hoping for a quick resolution.
After 4 days, it's about time.
So viewers, we're also seeing that we're having the National Media Review as it pertains to the Scarborough Secondary School. This is a long-standing issue here on the island of Tobago.
I'm wondering what happens if we don't get $60 million. I mean, the media review says that we're going to look at what has been, and one of the things sometimes I think we miss in a media review is that we review whether the projections we made for the generation of revenue became reality. And if those predictions or projections did not become reality, we're not likely to see any uptick in expenditure or projected expenditure. And if the shortfall has been too significant, it is possible to see a reduction in what was originally budgeted. So it makes me wonder what happens if that $60 million is not made available in the media review. What happens to the Scarborough Junior? Well, it's no longer junior secondary. Forgive me. Right, I just dated myself. But what happens to Scarborough Secondary if that sum is not available? Are we in a place, let's say we got only 30 million, are we in a place where we can start sensibly some aspect of this rebuilding project and take it to a reasonable place and probably look forward to something else in the new fiscal year?
And I would like to agree with you in terms of if the 60 million isn't what is there in terms of the review that is had, starting somewhere, maybe doing this in phases as opposed to trying to, I know that may not be the most realistic idea in terms of how they wanted the project to go, but sometimes you have to take a pivot and really come back at something and get the project started and get it off the ground so that some way, shape or form, we start that process for the students and the teachers as well to have some sort of comfort going forward, knowing that, okay, eventually and with time, we are going to be able to move from the position we are in to what was promised.
I'm hoping that changes.
Now, viewers, we're on to the celebratory segment of our mornings. We're on to our birthday shout-outs. First up on the lineup, we have Cherie Guerin. She's no stranger to us here at the Tobago Updates family. Happy birthday to you. We hope you have a splendid day. You take some time to probably go and relax, to self-reflect, spend some time painting. We know you love a good sip on paint, and I hope that today is filled with such of joy and that this year going forward is prosperous and that God continues to richly bless you.
Next on our list, we have Cheyenne. There's a look of peace in this picture, and we're trusting that today is a day of peace. Even if there is plenty, a day where you can truly soberly reflect on how life has been, and that it puts you in a frame of mind to pursue peace as the years roll on. We wish you a happy birthday and trust that God will favor you with many more.
And last but certainly not least on the lineup, we have Roxanne Kwashi. Happy birthday to you. You look so beautiful in this picture, and I hope today is just as beautiful, that you are cherished today, that you get all the gifts. Maybe you could stop by Tobago Updates and drop off some cake and ice cream for us here. We'll greatly appreciate it. We hope you have a splendid day today and wishing you all God's richest blessings upon your life. And this has brought us to the end of our birthday shout-outs this morning. But you know, I want to put in one birthday greeting to an individual. They really don't like the fanfare, but I believe that they are deserving of this birthday shout-out. Happy birthday goes out to Jolene Patel. Happy birthday to you, not just from me, but also from your Mind and Body Fitness crew. We hope you have a bright and beautiful day today.
You mean it's possible that there's another cheat day at the gym today?
I can't say.
I need to have a discussion with the people of this gym.
What I would say to you is, this is a community and a family. So ensure when you're coming with that mindset to support and to be a part of the community.
I did not say that I wanted to join the gym.
Well, you know what? There's always room for more. There's always room for more.
This seems to be a gym where cheat days are encouraged. I need to investigate this matter. But certainly we do wish you a happy birthday. And we encourage people, if not this gym, just get involved in some physical fitness activity. We're having an increase in sedentary lifestyle indicatory diseases, those lifestyle things that so we really encourage you to, as a birthday gift to yourself, if you're in the month of May, get involved in physical fitness, and a happy birthday to all of you.
Now, viewers, Alex, I want you to tell our viewers what's in store for them this morning. I know Friday is usually our sports day, but what do they have in store?
Well, interestingly, we continue to talk about the Marine Park Bill. We take a slightly different angle than we did yesterday morning, but we continue talking about the Marine Park Bill. We also talk about the International Day of the Boy Child. Now, this is going to get me really excited, because I think that our boys and men have been for too long understated in the society. So we talk the International Day of the Boy Child, and certainly Marcus is going to join us and bring the morning to an interesting end as we talk all things sport.
Now, you mentioned something about the International Boy of the Day child, and you said
Take
men are often understated. And that is so true, especially when it comes to when we look at some of the programs that are placed out in this space. You usually hear more about the girls, but then there's also the conversation of are our men actually showing up to some of these initiatives to really help and to serve them as well. So it's a double-edged sword with that topic, and I'm hoping that as the years go by, that programs that are put out into this space, they are consistent, one, and two, all men really take the time to go and to be
let's just add appropriate in there, because sometimes we tend to think we know what people want or what they should get, and it may not always be. So we must add the consideration of appropriateness for the programs.
Indeed. So viewers, there you have it. Stay right here on Tobago Updates. We'll be right back, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Sun Up Tobago presents Solara. Celebrating the 9th edition of your favorite party in the East, where style and good vibes meet. Get ready for the food-inclusive cooler experience you love. This July 4th, we return to the East, bringing you the perfect blend of mouth-watering food flavors, premium vibes, and unforgettable energy.
One thing more than fear understood. When girl, good girl.
Grab your cooler, hold your crew, and escape to Tobago's ultimate vibe. Join us at 4 p.m. at the Deltec compound in Argyle. Get your tickets now at Waterhole Bar and Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Barcode Scarborough, Eco Sports Stubby Park, Neat Jones Bar on the Esplanade, and Jane Monkey Crown Point, or online at identickets.com. Sun Up Tobago, Solara, 9 years strong. Your favorite party in the East is calling. Saturday, 4th of July, Deltec compound Argyle.
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven. Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. And talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom! Coconut drops, boom, bread, boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let we hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu they one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Thank you for staying with us, viewers. As promised, we continue our discussion on the Marine Parks Bill, and we have in studio with us this morning Mr. Darren Henry, Secretary with responsibility for the environment, and we also have Mr. Barry Lovelace, who is Director in the division. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good morning, and thanks for having us.
It is indeed a pleasure. Gentlemen, let's start. The Marine Parks Bill, as we discussed with the Secretary for Legal Affairs yesterday, came at a time when there was public outcry over the unfortunate loss of life in Pigeon Point area just a few weeks ago. But the reality is that this was a bill, if I would say it this way, long in coming. And it certainly wasn't the first iteration, as it were, of such a bill. We spoke with the Secretary yesterday, and we got an overview of the legislative part of it, if that would be an appropriate way to term it. But this morning we want to talk about how we operationalize what we hope to become law. And probably, Secretary, you might be the best person to start with the philosophy in terms of operationalization of the new Marine Parks Bill that we anticipate would soon become law in Trinidad and Tobago.
So as we are hopeful, and we are optimistic and positive that the bill will be passed by the central government. And we are, in the meantime, we are basically building out all the necessary structures to facilitate the success of the bill in Parliament. So what we are doing presently, as I mentioned, we are building the structures. We are working on the permitting system in terms of for the users of the park presently. Obviously, we'll have to discuss it with them to have agreement, because the bill will allow us now to charge a user fee. Also, we have to look at the system necessary for collecting the fees, which obviously my division is now being built out. So we're going to work with our partner divisions like tourism, especially at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park, to be one place that could actually accept the fees for users of the park. And I want people to know that the bill is not a bill to hinder anyone from earning a living on the reef. It just gives it more structure. It says who is responsible, what is permitted and what is not. If you have a natural resource and you manage a natural resource without any governing structure or any legislation, the resources will degrade, decline, and then you have chaos. And the Buku Reef since 1973, since it became a park, have been heading in that particular direction.
We have seen, those of us who have been around long enough, we would have seen some of the degradation. And you started talking immediately about the permitting system. In broad terms, who will be directly affected by the permitting system? Who or what would the nature of the permitting system look like? Who would be required to get a permit, and for what kind of operation?
So basically, all users of the park, in terms of the boat operators, those who have businesses, the tour operators, will have to pay to use the park, basically, because we spend thousands of dollars maintaining, trying to do our best to do patrol in terms of security and safety. And so all the users of the park, those who sell things within the space, all those persons will pay a user fee for the park.
So basically, permits would be for business operators.
Business
of
operators.
every level.
Yeah.
Probably we can ask of you, Mr. Lovelace, in terms of the operationalizing, permits require in the first instance somebody to process and issue, and in the second instance somebody to monitor validity and so on. How do you see, in terms of current situation, how do you see this working and the transitions that may be necessary to ensure not only the issuance of permits but the monitoring of their validity or their currency and so on?
Right. So good morning to all the users once again. So as Mr. Henry would have pointed out, right, we are optimistic of the bill being passed, and the bill provides for all of this in terms of having a permitting system. It enables the division to create zones and manage them, and to enable enforcement within the zones and so on. Now, in terms of the processing part of it, as he rightfully pointed out, the division, it's a newly installed division. We are now building out our infrastructure and so on, right? And so we are collaborating closely with the Division of Tourism in this early stage. Now, the bill is not yet law, so whatever we are doing at this point in time is still in the realm of policy, right? However, we're not sitting and waiting for the bill to pass, then to act. What we are trying to do at this point in time is to align our policies with what we anticipate is coming in the legislation, all right? And so when the legislation passes, there'll be a seamless transition as we build. Now, there are many moving parts, right? Admittedly, you asked about enforcement of the regulations and the systems that we intend to put in place. The bill also provides for that, in that it identifies what it calls inspectors and empowers them with the powers to enforce. The secretary also, the person who sits in that chair, will also have the ability, the power to designate inspectors. So right now in the bill, you have people like the Marine Park Manager, the Reef Patrollers, which we intend to change their name to Rangers, proper Rangers, precepted and so on. Of course, you have the traditional law enforcers, the police, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, and so on, right? I didn't think TIMA is in the mix there as enforcers, but those things will become clear, right? So the bill does provide for that. And yes, the bill is not one that restricts. In fact, what it does, it allows the users protection, whereas now they're operating in uncertain circumstances. They're not clear conflicts between users, who using that space, this is my space, this is your space. No, the bill allows us to organize and to even increase use, right? Because there's a proposition to increase the ambits of the park, such that proper zoning of activities and spatial management could be had, right? And there's even a wider, how should I say, a wider vision, right, in terms of the whole management of the blue space, right? That probably this interview may not allow us to go deep into it, but yes.
Now, Assembly Member Henry, the Division of Environment, Climate Restoration and Energy
Resilience.
Correct. So this division is solely responsible in terms of conservation efforts, especially when it looks at our natural resources here on the island of Tobago. The bill prohibits physical contact with coral and the removal of marine resources. Is there any part of the bill that specifically addresses the coral reef restoration or the long-term activities that will be put into place in terms of rehabilitation efforts beyond the restrictions and penalties?
Well, does not, to my point of view, that doesn't necessarily have to be in the bill, because that would be part of our work program, because as we evaluate and monitor, we will then put the necessary system in place to ensure that there is recovery on the reef. And we also work closely with national agencies like the Institute of Marine Affairs, who is our partner in terms of leading research in the country and on the Book Reef. And also we work with the University of the West Indies also.
And the bill identifies the invasive species such as the lionfish.
Yeah.
Are there plans to expand lionfish control programs or encourage community involvement in the reef conservation? Because I think also a part of that also plays into how individuals utilize this space in terms of the marine parks.
Well, again, we partner with our other THA departments and division, because that might be under the remit of the fisheries the department. So we collaborate with them, because they normally have a lionfish foray, for want of better words, once a year or so, to encourage people to catch the lionfish, because we know lionfish is one of the species that's very detrimental to our reef fishes, those that will normally rehabilitate and ensure that the reef is sustained. So you have that collaboration with the other divisions in the THA.
Now, this question would probably shift into the realm of ecotourism. There are restrictions on noise levels, parties, and alcohol distribution within the marine parks. Is the division trying to reposition the marine parks away from just recreational entertainment and more shift it into the realm of ecotourism?
So we had to honestly strike a balance. Now, without the regulations, a number of businesses or people would have been innovative and created new business within the park. Now, we can't just go ad hocly and just cut it off. We have to strike a balance and find a neutral ground. So, for example, within the previous bill that was submitted by the former administration, and I must say that I think all of Tobago is in agreement that the legislation need to be passed, because the previous bill was sent forward in 2020. We just made a few little adjustments. For example, the previous bill would have spoken about the decibel levels on the reef. Based on what the activities we may look at increasing it to for a few more decibels up, because there are certain activities which would have, for that whole 53 years of no regulations, would have been created. So we just can't obviously excise it at once. So we have to meet with the stakeholders and have the necessary discussions. So those are some of the things we'll be looking at. There are activities that when people knew about the reef, and there are activities now with the bioluminescent tours, so people want sunset tours, but when the bill was passed, when the park was created in 1973, it says like about from 10 a.m. to 5 or 5:30 p.m. And there are some businesses would have evolved around that time to facilitate sunset tours and the bioluminescent tours at night. So we have to now look at that aspect of it and see how best we could probably extend the time, and or to ensure that even though if we're thinking about extending the time, to ensure that we have the necessary monitoring and security features or apparatus around to ensure that there is safety and security of the users of the park within that particular time. So we want to work with the stakeholders to ensure that there's a win-win, there is conservation, and there is still thriving economic activity within the park.
What role, if any, in terms of in the developing of the new things that you might want to do? For example, you just referenced the possibility of extending park hours to give legitimacy, as it were, to some of the newer types of those. What role do we see some of these operators playing? You say consultation, but sometimes in our culture, consultations mean we go in and have a discussion and then we really do what we said because we ain't really listening. And that's how a lot of people feel about public consultations. But what role do you see for operators to contribute to how regulations are born out of the legislation that would both improve the quality of the activity in the marine park, yet work within the framework of conservation and maintenance?
So operators, if operators know that this is an area that you're earning your livelihood from, it will be in your best interest to ensure that you personally ensure that your business or your workers or your activity is in sync with the management activities for the park or the prescribed management activities, and also to ensure that other persons, your colleagues in the same space, do not do anything detrimental against the regulation, ensuring that there's sustainability and all the stakeholders will win.
If I may.
Certainly.
Yes, I'd want to use the opportunity to say a word to users of the park and key stakeholders of the park, right? Now, we view this bill as a pro-user bill, right? And between where we are now and where we want to be, right, there has to be a lot of discussions, conversations, but more, above all, consultation. And even last night, we were there, late last night, consulting with one particular group, right? And it was very fruitful, very beneficial. For the first time, they were able to understand and see what the division has in mind, and indeed that the division wants the same thing that they want, right? In terms of a better managed space. And so, as Mr. Henry would have pointed out, there are a lot of things that we are yet to discuss in terms of the timing of things, where people operate. Now, consultation is not an easy process. Remember, you're dealing with groups here of different interest groups. You have the jet ski group, you have the diving group, you have the reef boat group, you have those emergent businesses like the tiki craft and the guys selling the smoke cone, then you have the vendors on no man's land, and all water sports, kite flying, and so. So all these players in the one space, there has to be a strategy of discussion. And the strategy we are trying to use is to have these groups organized by interest and have representatives bring forward their issues, right? And so we can incorporate them into the decision making as we build out the whole structure of the permit system and the zoning and so on. So it's hard work. It's a very involved process. It could get emotional at times, but what we are pleading for is that the stakeholders come with a sense of goodwill and rationale to the table, such that we can have a good thing going in that space down there.
Gentlemen, probably both of you can take a stab at this one. Experienced conservators, both of you. We've had complaints of seemingly unpermitted and unregulated developments. I remember we had a guest who spoke about some work that was being done near the lagoon in Bonaccord. We lost mangroves. How do we propose to address even these matters where people think, well, I own this land, and regardless of what the possible outcome is or the impact, I am going to do this type of development? Does the bill seek to address what kind of physical development is allowed in areas that may not necessarily fall directly within the boundaries of the marine park, but certainly close enough to affect?
I think if I recall, when they were organizing to demarcate the area as a environmentally sensitive area, it would have included some aspects of the terrestrial parts of the southwest, and I think that is the area that fell into disrepute and the entire thing got shut down. But obviously, there are rules and regulations that govern development of lands adjoining the sea coast, and any private land, there are rules and regulations. You have the certificate of environmental clearance or environmental impact assessment, all governed under the Environmental Management Agency, and obviously we have town and country planning. So all agencies have to be involved, and obviously there is monitoring and evaluation at normal persons who, people will normally indicate that this development is taking place and it could have some damaging effect on the marine ecosystem. And the thing about it is for all agencies to work together and do the necessary
Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on this morning and giving us a little bit of insight as it relates to the Division of Environment and their role and their function in terms of how they are going to collaborate with other aspects of the THA to ensure that once this bill is passed that everything works seamlessly. I want to thank you for coming on this morning.
I thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us.
So to our viewers, stay right here. We'll be right back after the break. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Good morning. As we recognize the International Day of the Boy Child, I would like to tell you what this means for me. I'm a mom of 3 boys, 15, 9, and 10, and they bring so much adventure to my life. They are loud, they are rambunctious, they are caring, they are kind, they fight a lot, they love hard, they ask a lot of questions, and this is exactly what they're supposed to do. And so as we celebrate and recognize this day, we recognize the boys' need for support and love and affirmation from their mothers and their fathers. They need to hear good job. You know, I try to tell my boys and remind them that they can be anything that they choose to be, that we as their parents believe in them and their capacity to be great. So I encourage you today to speak into your boys' lives. Encourage them. Tell them how awesome they are. You know, often we expect boys to sit down and be quiet like girls, but they're built different. They're not supposed to do that. They are supposed to run, jump, explore within boundaries. But we have to appreciate how God created these boys with special purpose to lead, to love, to grow. And so today, I celebrate my boys, how fiercely they love me, how much they stand with their dad, how much they love their friends, how much they talk and they laugh, how tender their hearts really are. And it's okay for them to be adventurous and loving and kind and brave and assertive all at the same time. Let us celebrate the uniqueness of our boys and not expect them to be like girls. They are created the way they are for a reason. And so, happy International Day of the Boy Child.
I am a boy mom. When my son was born, he was premature, but the doctors told me that he would have needed some medication to help him to develop and grow, and I agreed with it, but they said it will cause him to be hyperactive. He started to take it and I realized that he was hyperactive. I had to keep up with him. It was every day a challenge, running behind him. He broke a leg, he broke a hand, he tripped and fell, he got involved in so many things, and it was just a matter of trying to keep up with him every single day, and it was a lot of effort and it took a lot of energy and it was exhausting, but it was also exhilarating. And I'm proud to call Omari Azaz Shabak Alexander my son, and I want to say happy International Day of the Boy Child. God bless you. I love you. Keep yourself out of trouble. Take care.
Good morning. I am Evelyn Johnson Thomas, mother of 2 wonderful boys, 18 and 10 years old. Nurturing 2 boys with a wide age gap in this time, I will often say the series different. It weighs on you mentally, physically, and financially. But spending quality time with them through prayer, talking and listening to them is what's shaping them as they grow to be great young men.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624. 3.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi viewers, welcome back to Tobago Updates Television. We are into the best segment on a Friday. Yes, we are into the sporting segment. It's Friday 15th May, already middle of the month of May. Yeah, the year is actually running away from us. Yes, Mr. Good morning to you guys, and of course, shout out to Mr. Brown and Renessa for holding on the first half hour. This morning we have two very exciting interviews. We're talking 5K, and we're also talking Relay Festival down there at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. But first up, we have in studio with us this morning Miss Alana Ned out of Crown Royal Entertainment, and they are hosting a 5K walk. So I say 5K run walk event come 23rd of May. Good morning to you, Miss Ned.
Good morning, Marcus. Good morning, Tobago, and thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Well, I know oftentimes I see you having a different uniform when it comes to law enforcement. But this morning you are here talking about this 5K run walk. But firstly, I want to know more about Crown Royal Entertainment. It sounds so royal. Tell me about the organizing, or the name of the group and what the group is all about.
All right. Well, Crown Royal Entertainment is an event management and planning company founded in 2024. We came out of the love for planning events.
Right.
So we decided to make it official and, register the company, and this is essentially our business launch.
So this is a business launch.
Yes.
And you see you have a love for planning events. Is it just sports, or you do all events?
General events. Yes.
Right. So tell me about this 5K. Is a run walk event, and it's happening on the 23rd of May.
Yes.
And then I saw there's a focus also on mental health. What inspired this type of event to launch the company's brand?
Well, Marcus, we are in the era of 5Ks. We are also in the era of where persons really are looking into their health and wellness. And so we decided to use 5K to launch a business. It is focused on mental health because May is indeed Mental Health Month.
Right.
We wear green to, in solidarity, as well as, we are encouraging community and also bringing awareness, because, we have a lot of persons who ideally they suffer in silence. So this 5K is, to bring awareness, and we also encourage all participants, all persons from all walks of life, because we would also have information being shared where persons can seek help as well if, you're going through whatever it is, for the 5K.
Yeah. And can you say it's a worrying trending to big where mental health is concerned?
Well, from where I sit, definitely. We have quite a lot of persons, going through lots of different things where their personal lives are concerned. And, sometimes, they come to us and it is indeed challenging personally, and it's challenging to be able to give advice. However, these persons also need professional help, so That's one of the reasons.
and I mean running, walking, because I mean sometimes when I'm not stressed, but sometimes when it's to clear the mind, I go and run. I don't run all the way, but sometimes I in between I walk as well. So maybe mental health, fitness and exercise, I mean, it goes hand in hand.
It goes hand. It does go hand in hand.
Yeah,
It does
fantastic.
go hand in hand.
So tell me about, because I saw Canopy on your flyer. I mean, tell me about the route exactly. Is it running to Canopy, run back out? I mean, tell me about the route.
All right. So the route, we start just in the vicinity of TK's Hardware, and we head south all the way into Cove, the refueling area.
Yeah.
You come back out and you head west onto Winston Murray Boulevard.
Right.
You get to the roundabout, you take the second exit, which takes you onto Pamela Nicholson Boulevard.
Right.
And then onto the highway, back to Canopy.
Oh, so
it's a loop.
So you're heading out to the highway and up the road?
Yes.
Ah, right. And in terms of persons who can attend, right, I mean, of all ages, and you have...
All ages, all walks of life, whether you are at the peak of your fitness, whether you are now starting off,
yes,
anyone can register.
And in terms of, I mean, people are very competitive in Tobago, right?
Definitely.
I mean, some of the things that they can expect to get at this event.
All right, well, we do have prizes, male, female. We have prizes for the oldest participant, the youngest participant, and we already have a very young participant.
Wow.
So that person is already guaranteed.
A baby?
Yeah. That person is already guaranteed, right? So we also have, giveaways, and we do have quite a lot of sponsors, partners as well, who were very willing to, come on board with us to ensure that this event is a success.
Yeah, and you get a jersey as well in your package?
No, registration is only $50.
Wow. Okay.
Groups of 10, you pay $450, and you are guaranteed a medal. Participant, well, the medal is the thing.
Yes.
So all finishers,
you get a medal.
You receive a medal. We also have a race village after. So persons have you have access to different things. You have we have holistic physical therapy services.
Right.
He will be there. We also have the mental health unit of the
fantastic
to be the division of health and social protection. So they will be there as well. We have a couple of vendors who will be there. They're doing vendors doing food. We have vendors selling activewear also. Right. So we have a mix of different things at the race village, a bit of entertainment, a bit of giveaways. So, persons have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. And in terms of registration, how has that been thus far?
Well, the registration has been very, very interesting. And we have a culture in Tobago of last minute.
That's what I know. I know.
Yeah, so it is now building. The race is on Saturday of next week. So the inquiries are coming, the registrations are coming.
Yeah, and in terms of persons who now viewing this interview and may want to be a part of it, I mean, how can they register? And well, you mentioned $50, but I also saw there's a group package as well for persons who may want to come with a group. Share more about that as well.
All right, so we do have a form, a registration form that persons can fill out. They can contact us at 392-3033. or 765-4102 for the information.
And they can also pay online as well?
Yes, we have that option for persons who are very busy. You can pay online as well. Additionally, today at the Noel Chase Hotel and Conference Center, otherwise known as the Police Association building.
They say that from before now, because I didn't know what's no.
At the Police Association building, we have the package collection.
Yeah, and where's the Police Association building
located?
So
that is located in Bonaccord. That is in the vicinity of Shade, that big building that we all know with the police star on it.
Right, that's on the left-hand side.
On the left-hand side, yes.
Cool.
So we have our package collection from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So there's also an area where persons can sit and relax as well. So we're going to have that this afternoon.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. I mean, obviously, this is, as you mentioned before, this is to launch the company.
Definitely.
And of course, given that this is Mental Health Month as well, you decided to do this event, which I am in favor of, outside of cricket. And I mean, can you see this event going into an annual event, a bigger and better one come next year?
Definitely. Because of the response that we're getting and the interest, we are definitely going to make this an annual event. Yes.
Yeah. And what's your cutoff? I mean, if you get 1,000, you're going.
Our cutoff is 400.
400.
We are cutting off at 400.
You're cutting off at 400. Okay. And of course, safety of the have the police there. I mean, you're gonna have music truck as well?
No, we will have music at the race village.
At the race
We are
village.
not having a music truck on the road. Additionally, we have shuttle service. The shuttle service begins at 4:15 a.m. From the Lowlands Mall car park that is on the Movie Town side. And from 4:15 a.m. until 5 a.m., we have the shuttle service available to persons. We are encouraging persons to avoid parking along the route. This is to ensure safety for all participants. So we are asking persons not to park anywhere along the route. They, however, can park west of the inside roundabout, and they can do that, but off the roadway.
Oh yeah, because you're very right. Because if you're targeting 400 and let's say you get 300 and everyone comes with a vehicle and a park inside, it
Definitely,
kind of
it's
congested.
going to be very congested.
Yeah, so you are parking at the mall, and
the shuttle service will take you from there to the Canopy area at the start point.
Oh, that's what's fantastic. I mean, you mentioned sponsors a while ago, and I always like to recognize sponsors. I'm not sure if you have the list off the top of your head. You can mention the sponsors as well.
We would definitely like to say thank you to Courts, Unicoma. We also say thank you to JG's, Margaret's Unity Cafe. We also have Unique Furniture and Appliances, and a host of other. The list is long. The list is long, but we would also Dr. Faith. Definitely love to say thank you to Dr. Faith for, putting a lot of different things in place for us, so definitely.
Yeah, and just before you go, I mean, what would you want to tell people, viewing this interview and may have not decided to participate just yet? I mean, sell the event.
All right, well, Crown Royal Entertainment, we say come out, register. This is not just a race. It is a movement. It is an event that would bring awareness to you, where persons can get assistance, and also, the giveaways. The giveaways.
Yeah, and they don't want to give out like a sneak peek of the giveaways?
No.
You need to be there. You need to be there.
You need to be there.
Yeah.
It is not just a race, it is an experience.
Yeah. And
it will be an experience.
Fantastic. And it's Saturday, 23rd May.
23rd of May. The race starts at 5:30 a.m.
So that means you need to be there at least 5 a.m.
Yes, definitely.
And do you have warm-ups before?
Yes, we definitely will have the warm-up before, information as to the route and so on. We'd also have road marshals along the way that would point persons to where they need to go, where they need to be.
Has this been a challenge to put together?
No. It hasn't.
Okay.
Because of the love and the familiarity with planning events, it was a breeze.
Ah, fantastic. Alan, I want to thank you so much for being here this morning, and I want to wish you and your company Crown Royal Entertainment, because we need more companies like yours which caters for events, because they need well-managed events, and it's good that you started with something sporty, and of course in a month that recognizes mental health, a very important sector that we sometimes don't pay attention to because we think that we are good, but there are a lot of persons who are struggling with so many different things.
Definitely struggling in silence.
Yes, indeed. And outside of focusing on the 5K, and let's also pay some attention to persons with mental health. And it's good that you have the execution there from the Division of Health as well, and persons who are there to, take information, and, it can lead to bigger things.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not sure if you're going to see me there. You may see me at the finish line for eats and drinks, as per usual, but there's another event I'm going to take part in this weekend, another 5K event.
Yes, that's...
So I realize it's a big thing in Tobago now, and I'm a 3K runner. Sometimes I walk at 5K. 5K is like too long way, But given the importance of this one, I think I may come and I'll also bring Ronald Wood. He needs to do a lot of 5Ks.
Definitely,
please. He needs a lot of 5Ks, yes? So thank you again for being here this morning.
And thank you for having me.
Yes, and I wish you all the best. And of course, don't be a stranger. Yes?
Definitely, thank you.
Viewers, we've been chatting there with Alana Ned out of Crown Royal Entertainment, and it's all about the 5K run walk event on May 23rd at Canopy. Get up there and support the initiative. You can follow them on Facebook as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and get all the additional information there. We're going to take a short break. When we get back, we're going to be talking with the president of the National Athletic Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Efren Siret, talking about the Relay Festival happening this weekend at the Hazy Corporate Stadium. Don't forget, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Get ready, Trinidad and Tobago. The Republic Bank Relay Festival 2026 is sprinting your way. Join us on May 16th at the Hazy Crawford Stadium starting at 1 p.m. for a high-energy national club-based relay competition for athletes both young and old. Over $20,000 in prize money is up for grabs. Admission fee is only $20. Come cheer on the future of athletics.
Powered by Republic Bank and the Power to Make a Difference program and the NAAATT.
In God we trust and feed we must!
Yes, welcome back, viewers. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. Getting some technical difficulties in connecting with Mr. Siret, but of course it's happening this weekend at the Hazy Crawford Stadium, the Relay Festival. So happy that we have a return of the Relay Festival, and I expect a number of Tobago groups to get down there and participate, different age groups. So shout out to the Entry Haze for hosting such an event. We missed Trinidad and Tobago at the recently held World Athletics Relay Festival in Botswana. So the Jamaicans doing extremely well across there. But it's good that Trinidad and Tobago, the Entry Haze, they have returned to the Relay Festival. I'm hoping that all of Trinidad and Tobago can go out there and support the young stars, the rising stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, the Relay Festival 2026 at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. It'll be nice to have something like this in the Adelaide Stadium, but I'm hoping that the relevant authorities, they are fixing and working behind the scenes to get our stadium back up and running. So we can we here in Tobago can see such exciting events. Relays are really exciting, really exciting. And it's such a disappointment, especially at the primary school level, with the national championships and then the Free K Festival being cancelled this year. But I'm hoping that all the clubs in Tobago, the Zenits, the RSS, and Mercury, and all the clubs, they can get down there to Trinidad for tomorrow and participate in that event. And just before we wrap, we have some other exciting things happening in sports here right in Tobago. Today we have the finals of the Tobago Primary Schools Netball League, and it's happening at the Shaw Park Complex starting at 9 a.m. and we have two big matches on today. And then it's going to be the third place playoff between St. Andrew's Anglican and Scarborough Methodist. That game starts at 10 a.m. That's the first match on today. And then the big final, surprise final, is Moriah Government taking on Blackrock Government. Blackrock, no strangers to finals, defending champions, Table Peace, they didn't make it this year. So we're going to have a new champion in the Tobago Primary Schools and Netball League. Just over 3 weeks of competition, and it ends today. And then the champion team, they move on to the national championships. And Tobago will be hosting the quarterfinals come next week, Friday. All brought to you by the Division of Education, Skills and Innovation, Sport and Education Unit. So good luck to all the teams and players today. And viewers, if you have some time, go down there and take in the netball. Very exciting play. The future of our netball in Trinidad and Tobago. And also I want to extend congratulations to Ball Blasters Youth Academy. They have won the first division of the Tobago Football Association League, and by virtue of winning the first division, they have now qualified for the Premier Division in their very first year of competing at the big league, or competing in the big league. So shout out to Coach Donny Marcel and the Ball Blasters family. Congratulations to you guys, and I'm wishing you all the best in the top flight. Very exciting bunch, dedicated bunch, and Donny Marcel, a man with a vision and a man with a plan. And I know for a fact they are going to cause some headaches in the Premier Division come 2026. And of course, wrapping up with some cricket news. Cricket, yes, we have cricket happening this weekend. Tobago Cricket Association League happening this weekend. T20 action, and also 40 overs playoffs. We got second round action in the T20 competition at Moriah and Roxborough tomorrow, and also on Sunday in Moriah. Tomorrow in Roxborough, we have the Roxborough Strikers, the home team, taking on Georgia PYC at 10 a.m. and that will be followed by a clash against a clash featuring Georgia PYC and Beagle Gladiators at 2 p.m. That's happening tomorrow there at the Roxborough Recreational Ground, the Sid Gray Sporting Complex.
trust me, these T20 matches are very, very exciting. And then we have Airports Authority taking on Scarborough Mason Hall at 2 p.m. at Moriah. So something for the North Side as well. And then on Sunday at Moriah, we have Bagel Gladiators taking on Airports Authority at 10 a.m. And then we have Georgia PYC taking on Scarborough Mason Hall at 2 p.m. But tomorrow as well, we have a big playoff match in the 40 overs. Yes, Tobago Police CC taking on CMB United. That's an eliminator. The winner of that match will take on Roxborough Strikers on Sunday in Roxborough for a chance to play Scarborough Mason Hall in the final on the 24th of May. So tomorrow at Shaw Park, Tobago Police, they are taking on CMB United at 11 a.m. And the winner, they play against Roxborough Strikers in Roxborough in the qualifier 2. And then the winner of that game, they play against Scarborough Mason Hall in the final on the 24th. So lots of action in sports happening this weekend, today and this weekend here in Tobago. So something to look forward to. Today is also CPL draft. The much anticipated CPL draft, the biggest party in sports, CPL, it returns in August, and the draft, it takes place today, and a lot of persons are going to be tuned into that draft because all the players they are returned to the draft. And it's going to be an interesting viewing today to see how the teams and them gonna build out for the 2026 season. And of course, big up the Night Riders one time. Yes, TK are the defending champions. Looking forward to seeing what team they're going to put on paper for this 2026. So guys, thank you so much for being here this morning. I want to thank Alana, Ned, and of course the Crown Royal Entertainment team. Wishing them all the best with their 5K run walk event on the 23rd of May. And yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And be sure to go down and take in some sports, yes? All right? Be safe on the roads as well. For now, look forward to Good Morning Tobago after the break. But don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Part of the Mainridge 250 Commemorative Week, students from various schools took part in a historical reenactment of the 1776 debate, which legalized the protection of the Tobago Mainridge Forest Reserve, marking a significant moment in environmental history.
Mr. Speaker, I am grateful to this House for its time. I am aware that the crisis in America presses upon every mind in this chamber. I will not take more of the House's time than the matter requires, but I will ask the House's patience because the matter requires more than a moment. I have been bringing this proposal before the Parliament in various forms for 11 years. I have been told it is too early, too theoretical, too cautious. We must develop the island first and worry about the consequences later. Mr. Speaker, later has arrived.
Mr. Speaker.
My role today was the main character of Swami Jennings. He wanted to bring this motion forward for the past 11 years. It took some training. Thank you to my teachers, the organizers and stuff. They did a really good job.
I played Lord Hartley today. He's a calm person, like he is but he's concerned about things, but he's not, as he said, he's not unsympathetic to the scientific argument at all.
It is my first time in a debate and it has been very, very fun so far. I wish to do it next year.
250 years ago, Swami Jennings and others of that period were thinking beyond their time. They were building a future. They understood that by preserving the Mainridge Forest for this present day is protecting Tobago's watershed, natural resources, and long-term well-being for generations to come. Because of that foresight, Tobago became part of the earliest examples of environmental policy in the current world.
I was so elated, actually, elated and emotional. Actually, some tears came to my eyes while the school children were debating, because to see the pressure that this guy, Mr. Jennings, went through, spending 34 years in the British Parliament and for 11 years fighting to have the reserve declared a reserve.
I was your faithful narrator, and I believe I did a wonderful job. The experience was nerve-wracking, wonderful, exciting, fun, really enjoyable to really, just get involved in nature, learn about Tobago, its history. The forest was finally protected by law permanently. Unfortunately, Swami Jennings died in London on the 18th of December 1787. He was 83 years old. He never saw Tobago, nor the forest he saved. The Mainridge Forest Reserve has stood for 250 years. It is registered as the oldest legally protected forest reserve in the entire Western Hemisphere. The decision was made in London, in a chamber much like this one, by men who never stood beneath those trees. 250 years later, we sit in the very institution that grew from the council their resolution. The trees still stand above us. The rains remain in the forest. All because someone once chose to protect what they could not see.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. Sip and start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melted ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Good morning, I'm your host Natalie Seeley Richardson, and you are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates Television. And you know how we start off our mornings, we must keep you informed, and we go to our news in 90 seconds. The search for 2-year-old Angelo Tobias Plaza has entered its fourth day. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine confirmed that the THA has deployed all available resources, including TEMA, specialized divers, and thermal drones to support the search. Emphasizing that it takes a village to protect a child, the Chief Secretary expressed deep concern over the unanswered questions, urging Tobago to be more vigilant of its most vulnerable. This year's 39th Tobago Heritage Festival will operate with a $6.5 million budget, a $1.6 million increase over the last year. Addressing the orange economy, the Chief Secretary also issued a directive to the Division of Tourism to clear all outstanding 2024 debt to its cultural ambassadors. Tobago Carnival 2026 will officially launch on the 29th of May. Ahead of the launch, the Festivals Commission will hold a full budget briefing. In more cultural news, the public is reminded that application for the George Stanley Baird Scholarship in Tourism and the Arts are open until May 31st. The scholarships honor the late icon's progressive ideas for the island's development. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Of course, you get more information, more detail, and more news in our 6:30 p.m. broadcast this evening. So make sure and check that newscast out. We go for a quick break, and when we return, you'll meet our first guest for the morning.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person. Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying with us. My first guest this morning is Melissa Yearwood Jack, Program Officer at TEMA, Tobago Emergency Management Agency, and we are talking about a very important workshop that is coming up, Protecting What Matters, Financial and Property Resilience Before Disaster.
Yes, and many times we know when we hear TEMA, we have a picture in our mind. We know they are first responders. We know we're heading into the hurricane season and all the advice that it's put out. But this workshop, we're talking about financial and property resilience. Do you think about the financial part of being prepared for a disaster? Well, you need to definitely be a part of this workshop. Melissa, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Of course, a very interesting theme, topic, protecting what matters. And I see financial and property resilience before disaster. What would have motivated TEMA to collaborate with the Financial Literacy Secretariat at the Division of Finance for this workshop?
Okay, at TEMA, we get reports on a variety of hazards that affect the community. And when they come and when we ask them, because we have to question them, we realize that most of them don't have any emergency fund, doesn't have a concept of what to do for the long term. People come to us for help, so we have to direct them to other agencies, for example, self-help or social services. And when we ask, did you put anything in place? Did you have insurance? How did you build your home? For the topography that you are, did you analyze the hazards around your environment before you built your home? And most of the time, the answer is no. So TEMA, our the community outreach program unit, thought ourselves, hey, what can we do to arm Tobagonians with help for a long-term financial plan or long-term disaster plan? Because we had a conversation before about COVID. Most people don't have long-term savings and they don't have an emergency plan. COVID is a hazard. It was a biohazard and it shut down the country for about 3 years. And it affected us tremendously. And for example, so people don't have the concept of, if anything happens to my family, how could I protect them?
And we have this dependency on the government. What will they provide? But I mean, they can only do so much. And as you rightfully said, we saw a lot of financial fallout during COVID where people were depending on the grants. And yes, there was a process to apply, but it wasn't guaranteed and it wasn't going to cover maybe what you earned. So we really should think about the financial preparedness as well. So that's why I thought, you know, when I saw the topic, it was really interesting. Many of us, we just exist. You know, we do things. You mentioned people building in terms of thinking of the topography and like, who does that? You know, who really thinks about all of that? I get a piece of land, somebody give me from the family handout, and I just go build.
For example, in Trinidad every year, you see flooding happens in certain communities, and then you see the homes. Some of them are built for flooding, meaning that they are high, have a one story up, and some of them are not. So every year you have the same hazard happening, flooding, and you are not prepared because you didn't think, okay, what is the hazards around my community? If you, for example, Tobago, we have a lot of hills. Did you build your home with the sufficient plan for that? Because in our workshop, one of the presenters is land management and tongue and country division. So we just wanted to give participants a holistic view of planning when it comes to your property, when it comes to land management, as well as the approvals to tongue and country you need to get to build your home at a certain standard.
And even beyond building, but I know people usually later on will do extensions. You know, you just cut a piece of the land anyhow, and then you start to complain. This never happened before when rain fell, but then you didn't consult the experts, you know, to get advice in terms of maybe don't cut the land this way, etc. So, you know, I think viewers, if you are now hearing about this, you have to listen to this full interview, because definitely you'll get more information about when and where this is happening and how you can be a part of it. Now, one of the things we are all directed to when we hear about disaster preparedness, especially when thinking about hurricane season, is to pack a grab and go bag. And I think we teach our children it's in the schools. But beyond the grab and go bag, what's other specific documents should people think about? So yes, we hear about the passport, your birth paper, but what else you think we may overlook in terms of you know, bridging that? We're looking at property in particular.
So when it comes to disaster resilience, as you said, people also think about their immediate. When you hear a storm, people no rush to put things in place. But before that, you're supposed to, if you have a home, think about your deed. Do you have insurance? Most people in Tobago are not insured or are underinsured, meaning that they may be insured for fire, but what are the hazards in Tobago? Are you insured for a storm? Are you insured for if a tree fall down on your home? Fun fact, in Tobago, the highest hazards we have in TEMA that is reported is fallen trees on property.
Wow.
Right? And it's because every year people have trees around them, they're not trimming them. By the way, TEMA does not trim trees.
I guess you get calls for that, right?
Yes. But you need to be able to assess your environment. We realize that people, yes, it's expensive to assess your environment, but that expense up front will save you in the future.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So think about your insurance. Think about your building plans. Think about, for example, a lot of people, I realize, don't put their important documents in soft copy. Yes,
Right.
you have it on your person, but I always scan, and you can easily scan everything on your phone now and put them in a Google Drive. Because if anything is lost with a fire or a flood, you would need those important documents to have still in your insurance claims, and you don't want the insurance people to have an excuse not to give you your insurance. So make sure and scan your documents, put them in a drive, email them to yourself, and you always will have those documents on hand.
And as you touch on, getting ready, prepared for long term and for future, many of us take the approach, as you mentioned, it's too expensive, or sometimes it's just a lack of knowledge. Why is it important to now try and change our thinking so that we can be prepared in terms of looking at finance and property being bridged together?
Financial planning is important. We realize that majority of persons don't have, I would call it a family communications plan, but a financial communications plan. And if you, for example, if you have a hurricane come, we assisted Grenada when Hurricane Beryl went there, and a lot of persons were in tents, right? A lot of persons slept in tents for months. And if you don't have that conversation with your family, let's be real, if anything happened, where are we sleeping? Where are we going? Are we going to be in tents? And if we are, how long? Can we build back better? Can we build back at all? Right? Because some persons are permanently displaced. And we think, yes, we are at the bottom of the hurricane belt in Tobago, but we have been affected by disasters in the past.
Right.
And I think that we as Tobagonians, when I go out in the public and I asked, first question I asked, Hurricane Beryl passed. What did you do? Did you do anything? And the majority of persons didn't even do anything. And I could testify because when I asked my own family members when I went to work, hey, are you doing certain things? My sister watched me and be like, I'm home, I'm not doing anything. Because it was a category 4 to 5. And we still was like, it's not going to happen. Yes, thank the Lord, it fared not. And it didn't happen. But I realized that a lot of persons take it for granted that nothing will happen. And as I always say, like a car accident, nothing will happen until it happens. And that is why we have car insurance, but they force that on us. Imagine if they didn't force us to have car insurance, majority of us wouldn't have car insurance.
True.
So you have to think about it like a car accident. You don't know when it will happen, if it will happen, but you're supposed to be prepared for any eventuality.
And it's something we really do, and I don't know, I can't understand it, because I think being prepared really takes a lot of stress off of us when the incident happens. Yes, there are things out of our control, but still putting things in place. But we talk about the what if, and many times we are saved from how to, but at some point we'll have to figure out how to, and then that's where the planning takes place. So viewers, those of you who are listening, I encourage you, of course, to share the live, even later on, share it so that somebody can benefit from the information being shared, and of course hear about this workshop. So let's talk more about the workshop, when it is, where it is, and how our viewers who are listening can be a part of this workshop.
Right. The workshop is on the 27th of May at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Center at the Penthouse. So how you can get involved at our Facebook page, you will see a flyer and there'll be a form there to click to register, as well as I know that the Division of Finance or as well share the poster and share the form. You could email me at melissa.jack@gov.tt. You could also call me, message me at 756-5646. Message me, right?
Right, you all put the emphasis there, right? Melissa is busy, but she will give you the information.
Yes.
So message her.
And I will message you back the form, right? So you should fill out. So you could register, and as well as you could, if you want more information, you could call our TEMA phone, 660-74 7489. My extension is 2037. So we could have a conversation, right? But it's just as that. You could go and get our form. If you have any questions, you could message me at 756 on WhatsApp, 5646.
Right, and you're messaging Melissa concerning the workshop, all right? Don't just be asking Melissa random preparedness. You know, she's not your personal consultant. She's here to give you advice in terms of the workshop and provide that support. We continue to talk about, you know, the workshop. So it's May 29th. What's the
27th.
27th,
Yes.
right? My mistake. So get that May 27th, and it's going to be held at the Penthouse at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex. Who is your target audience for this?
Right. So essentially everyone, because what we realize is that the first-time homeowner would need that information from Guardian Life Group of Companies, who is a facilitator for the day.
Right.
The person who is considering building will need some information about building plans from land management, who is an expert on the day. The person who is want to know about getting approvals will need information from Tongue and Country division, who will be there at the day. We get some information on disaster impacts and resilience from TIMA, from our contingency planning officer, Ms. Thompson. And of course, we will have the financial literacy secretariat, Mr. Morton will be there to talk specifically on financial planning. So it is for anybody, because one, financial planning is very important.
Right.
Knowing if you're insured, the type of insurance, if you're underinsured, you could ask them all those types of questions for you. They're not there to sell the insurance. They're there to give you information.
Right.
And of course, when it comes to building plans, I think majority of us fall down when it comes to TIMA looking at land slips and stuff, they're not building properly. Of course, you get the land. Some of us, we know the land issues in Tobago. We can't get a loan, so we just build. But if you building, even if you're not getting a loan and you're not doing the proper processes, you should be able to know. Because what is happening is that I realize people don't know where to go for the information. And they come to TIMA to guide them with everything. And we are not experts in everything. So we just always have to guide them to the appropriate agency, the appropriate person. So even if you have to build out of pocket, you need to know how to build. You need to know what to look for, and you need to know who you need to go for advice.
Right, and of course, I'm sure there are limited spaces.
Yes.
So you mentioned phone numbers and more information. Is there like a registration process? Do I need to complete a form?
Yes. So on our Facebook page, and if you message me, there is a registration form.
Right.
And when registration is full, I will send out a message. Registration is full. Registration is not full right now. We at over quarter of our capacity.
Okay.
And so we have space.
Right.
Right. So hopefully by next week those spaces will fill up, and I will get a lovely message that Tobagonians are interested. We have the information department is hopefully being able to send that workshop live. So we are in discussions to having it live on their page. So you at home will be able to view the workshop from home.
Right, but of course, if you can attend in person, that's always better because you have the opportunity, of course, to get your specific questions asked and get some type of feedback on it. Now, what about small businesses? Because we have businesses in communities. Are you also targeting those persons?
We sent a message to the Tobago Commerce, and we asked them for their members to come because, as I said, majority of businesses, and for business-wise, it has to be insured. But what type of insurance? You're going to build for a business. All of these things, when it comes to financial planning, is important for your long-term health of your business, right? Because, you know, certain things happen, and during COVID, a lot of businesses died. We saw it, a lot of businesses died and wasn't able to get revived after COVID. So you're supposed to get the information for yourself, especially when it comes to financial planning.
And yes, while we know businesses should have insurance, just like homeowners, many times we have that informal sector where things are not always done up to code. So if you are hearing about this and you operate a shop, a mini mart, you know, whatever business, you have a physical location, this is also for you so you can, you know, be educated and be informed. And of course, as we have you here representing TIMA, before you go, Melissa, what advice would you just give the Tobago public, and of course, beyond Tobago, because we have viewers from all over the world, in preparing your property? And one of the things that I should have raised earlier was when we talk about resilience. What exactly are we talking about when we say we're looking at property resilience?
when it comes to resilience, we are speaking about, I would say, survival. You have to be able to put steps in place, I would think, to survive, not depending on the government, as you said before, to survive. So resilience comes with the words recovery. How would you recover, right? So we're talking about your own personal recovery. You as a person need to be able to think about your long-term recovery plan if something happens. So your time resilience with recovery and knowing, hey, if I have to recover, would I be able to do this comfortably, or would I have to depend on the government whenever that government comes to help? And you know things as normally move slow in our bureaucracy, right? You have to do the form as usual, they have to go through, and everything takes time. And if you as a person could deal with your own issues personally, it always goes fast and you're comfortable. As anything, if you plan for me, if I plan for anything, I am more comfortable if you put me in a situation where I have to now think on my feet. So think about, am I going to be comfortable? Once the dust settles and my family is safe, am I going to be comfortable in this recovery stages? Because recovery could last weeks, it could last years. In the case of Grenada and Jamaica, it is still happening. Recovery is still happening. And things happen in recovery. For example, in Jamaica, we had an outbreak of a virus that killed people, because in recovery, things happen like that. So you have to be able to rely on yourself.
Right. And if you can share one thing or give our viewers one piece of advice concerning property resilience as they think about attending this workshop, what would you share?
For me, when it comes to persons coming in TEMA, I realize that people build without thinking about the hazards in their area, hazards around them. Because when you go there and you see the house and you see where they build the house and the topography of how they build the house, and be like, they didn't think about, okay, it is of course landslide prone. What did you do? Right? Yes, you have no choice sometimes, but now you really have no choice because you're coming to us, and now we have to send you to somewhere else to assist you. So I would like to say, when it comes to property, yes, we are happy to build, but are you building for sustainability, or are you building for just for a week or for a year? You have to be able to know that the hurricane season is upon us, and every year we have some named storms that nearly miss us, and you have to be prepared for that, as well as the rainy season. You know, the rainy season brings certain hazards, for example, landslides, especially in Tobago, and flooding and high winds that, of course, bring down the trees I mentioned before. So think about the hazards in your area before you build. And if you have already built, make sure that you show up your emergency plan, cut down your trees around your area, clean your drains for yourself. And if you have to assess your property, for example, some people need to assess their roof, the cracks, do that before in the dry season in preparation for the rainy season.
And if our director can put that flyer up on screen, that so our viewers can get that visual. So it's protecting what matters, financial and property resilience before disaster. And it's a workshop being hosted by TEMA in collaboration with the Financial Literacy Secretariat Unit in the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy of the Tobago House of Assembly. That date is May the 27th this year, and it's an all-day workshop, 8:30 to 3 p.m. And of course, yes, you will get lunch, you will get, light refreshments. So they are catering for all of us. But remember, you need to register so you can be catered for and have a very, a very dynamic day, sharing your concerns, getting answers to your questions. And I think, Melissa, a workshop like this is really important, because sometimes, although TEMA can do all they can do to share information, there are always gaps for various reasons. So here you have, many stakeholders coming in one place. It's not me going here, calling there, but everybody in one place. So I can really learn and have my questions answered. So there you have it, viewers, protecting what matters. Do you really think about, your finances when you're thinking about being prepared for disaster? Or is it just, buy the canned goods, buy things that can last a couple days, a couple weeks, and sometimes we don't go deeper into really being prepared. So thank you, Melissa. Thank you for sharing with us. And viewers, do take advantage of this workshop. We get ready for a break at this time, and when we return, another special guest will join us.
do you make a man a man? How do you let a man be a man and own up to his responsibilities?
How would you prevent passing on trauma?
I do not believe in licks as discipline. So how should I go forward now with discipline? I'm not encouraging anyone to go out there and get pregnant.
Join us for part 2 of Words from a Mother as we hear from former participants of the program for adolescent mothers PAM. This Sunday, May 17th from 6 p.m. on Tobago Updates.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven. Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. And talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops. Boom, bread. Boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let me hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu day one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
But you find you taking long to play the card. I'm all day. I'm all in time, so good, but you look at it. Yo, what school you went by?
Diane Bishops, boy.
Bishops?
Yeah, one of the baddest has come out of Bishops, sir.
The baddest?
But telling away.
Really the baddest? Why one night and life and I is the baddest.
My Bishop is the best.
Yo, what going on with Tola? Here what going on? It's only one way to settle this. We'll be live on Youth Voice TV where I, your host Multibass, will be hosting the Rep Your School DJ competition where DJs will go head to head in a crazy battle. To secure the title, we have cash prizes of $10,000 to come out and win and a lot of amazing prizes. Guys, what are you waiting for? Let me come out, come and showcase your skills. Come, let me do some jobs.
So guys, there are 2 categories for DJs that are out of school up to 35 years. And for the DJs that are currently in school, it must be up to 19 years of age. So guys, get ready. It's all about Rep Your School. It's all about the DJ competition.
Who will bring the best vibes? Who can control the crowd? And who will earn the bragging rights? You get a chance to be a part and witness the rise of the new DJ generation. So this is Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ, live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ competition. Rep Your School.
A brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy keep us strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying with us. I am your host this morning, Natalie Celia Richardson, and you are viewing GMT Good Morning Tobago. And we continue with our second guest this morning. Very interesting conversation I know we will have, and many of you need to pay attention to this because it's another segment that is beneficial to you. This morning, I have the honor of speaking to Alston Patron Jr. He is the owner of AJ's Healing Therapies, and we are going to be talking about natural holistic therapy, something we hear about. You may see, some of you may be doing your own research, and we have someone who can guide us this morning. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
So
it.
I want to, of course, because a lot of times we hear about natural therapy, we hear about taking natural products, etc. And one of the concerns would be, who is this person? Who is this person? Are they qualified to do this? So how do your clients refer to you? Are you a physiotherapist? Are you a masseuse? What's your training background like?
Well, so it's all of the above, right? So that's why I'm referred to as a general therapist and a holistic practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And when we talk about holistic or alternative medicine, what are we speaking about?
Well, natural, of course. Natural.
Mhm.
Everything natural, very organic and relative.
Mm-hmm. And for a viewer who still mightn't grasp that, when you talk about natural, give us some examples, what you're talking about, especially in your field where we're talking about therapy. What does that a natural holistic treatment look like?
Right. So we look at all the direct affecting everyday life. So one factor is stress. There's a lot of emotional stress
Mhm.
issues that I deal with. So once we get over that factor during therapy, it's far much easier to deal with the issue. So like I've dealt with a lot of cervical pains. That's a pain in the neck.
Right.
PSIS syndrome. That's a fancy name for hip pain and lower back pain, lordosis, when the spine is pinching on nerves and so on. And clients immediately trust me. I'm very thankful for that. So next to being qualified, I was told that I'm gifted.
Right.
And clients open up to me. And when they tell me what was the event that happened to them, it's trauma. Trauma was the base.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma was the base.
What, of course, got you interested in this field?
I grew up with a mother who literally took care of the community. Yeah, and my dad, yes, AMPLIA Patron, Garnet Patron. They were very involved in the community, helping, whether it be financial help, sharing groceries. And mom, she loves to give her bush remedies. Yeah, somebody's
Right.
sick, she'll always go in the kitchen, mix up something, or
Right.
gives the best remedy that she has
Right.
and knows of. And I was active in all different types of sports.
Okay.
Martial arts, swimming, basketball, and I injured and broke almost every part of my body.
Mhm.
So when people tell me about pain, I could totally relate.
Right.
I could genuinely relate as to what pain is.
Mm-hmm.
And colleagues and friends will always come to me for some remedy.
Right.
I have done all the different types of jobs, literally. Yeah, I was in the force, just to name one. And I love my jobs, but I have never had this level of passion
Right.
as to what I'm doing now. I've never had this level of passion, and my love shows in my work.
Mhm.
Yeah?
Your profile refers to you as a body mechanic. Now, when we hear the word mechanic, we think of, a straightener, somebody fixing
Right.
a vehicle. So, something that is, hard, metal. So how do you blend that description of being a mechanic, a body mechanic, bridge it with the other part of your profile that comes across in terms of that spiritual healing force that you talk about?
Yes. So the body, the joint, the entire skeletal structure, all right, it is mechanics. So that's why when a client describes to me what they feel, they think that's where the pain is coming from. But I'm able to pinpoint what's causing the pain. I sit and listen. I have to hear the whole history, whether it be accident or a sudden influx of inflammation, yeah, and I'm able to pinpoint where the pain is coming from and what's causing it. And so when I go to where I know the pain is coming from, they're amazed because everything is linked.
Right.
Everything is linked.
Right.
The nervous system, the spinal structure. Every single nerve in the spine is attached to every organ. So one of my mastering techniques is reflexology.
Right.
Yeah? So I will go into the spine. I will release the pressure there. The tummy pain stops.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
I will do certain manipulations on the vagus nerve. That's the nerve that transports nutrients and oxygen towards the brain. And the headache stops.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
Everything is connected. Everything.
And how long have you been doing this?
Professionally?
Yes.
4 years counting, and added up to during my career and since home at my mom all my life.
Yes, because you grew up. You grew up in
Yes.
it. We can say that. Now, many of us look for. We live in a world where everything has to be done now, so instant gratification. But when you talk about a pain is there, and we want the pain to go away now. How do you explain to your clients that healing is not just an event? You come and it's a quick fix, but it may be a progressive occurrence. How do you get that in the mindset of your clients, or even to our viewers who are listening?
Yeah, so I love this topic, and I'm so happy you brought that up. Healing is a process. Healing is a process, just like growth. So a lot of clients who do sedentary work, they sit a lot.
Yes.
Yeah? They will experience pains maybe close to retirement or during their work life, sitting for long hours, lordosis, spinal compaction, the biggest fight right now, sciatica. Yeah. There are clients who will come in literally hunched over. I've done with clients who people had was to bring in on a stretcher, literally, yeah? And they left walking. Right? There are a lot of experiences that we will call nothing less than a miracle in the clinic. And I'm glad to be used by the Almighty. I'm happy to be used by the Almighty to see these miracles happen. And I really want clients to understand that they can't look at other clients and say, hey, but I saw you dealt with so-and-so and he came out walking. But healing is really a process.
Right.
Work with the process, because your spine mightn't be able to rehabilitate fast as John's.
Right.
Yeah? John might have a level of fitness before during his life. Yeah? And something I really want to look at and point out deeply to is maintenance. Maintenance. Yes, you come and do 4 or 5 sessions, but I would really love you to maintain, be consistent. Yeah.
Your profile talks about, you having mastered about 50 styles in terms of your therapy delivery. How do you decide which style to use on a particular client?
So, next to experience and training, I'm able to assess somebody as to what caused the pain and what is the force continuum as to what is applied or what should be applied rather.
And share with our viewers some of what these 50 styles are. Just give us a few.
Well, there is one that we boast about in the clinic. It's called Ajiatsu. Well, AJ is my name, so we took the A and the G and put it together with this Japanese style called Shiatsu. Yeah, and it's deep tissue massage. It's nerve reconditioning. It's vagus nerve release. It's trauma tension release. Swedish massage. Just a bit of chiropractical stretching and so on.
Right.
Yeah, and so all these things blended together is a special treatment that we do. When you're finished, somebody literally has to take you home. You will be reset.
When we began our conversation, you mentioned the impact of stress. When you look at how we live today, because I think, it's my opinion, that we live a much more stressful life than our parents may have lived and grandparents. How is this stressful environment now connecting to or adding to the trauma that we face, and then it's now lived through our bodies?
Practice and golden traditions have been left out and stopped, sadly. Yeah. In school, we used to make chow. Yeah. We had naturally preserved fruit. Yeah? All these things are probiotics. Now kids today have tummy ache,
Shiny pack, they eating shiny pack, yes.
acne, and these probiotics that we naturally used to make. Mommy had pomsite soaking.
Right.
Now you're gonna crack open a pack and put some that will kill the gut microbes. When your gut microbes die, what's gonna happen? Immune system is gonna start falling apart. I have never seen so much teenagers, beautiful teenagers, with so much acne. No. And then with this now, when the body is off balance, hormonal disruption, they can't concentrate in school. We know about cooking with coconut oil. We know about cooking with olive oil.
Right.
Avocado oils. And by the way, these are the 3 top oils that the body recognizes for digestion. And now everywhere cooks with all of the bad oils, which we know as hydrogenated oils.
Right. And then because of the fast pace of life, you find a lot of people are also eating the fast food.
Yes.
You know.
Correct.
So, and as you mentioned, I'm listening to what you're saying, and you realize, and it's something that our viewers, we should really pay attention. Everything is connected. And you mentioned that, earlier on, we may do something and you figure, well, okay, but somewhere down the road, as you continue to do it, you're impacting your body. Now, we're going for a quick break, viewers. And when we come back, we are going to hear about some of the services being offered, how you can avail of it, and of course, we have some products in studio that we will be told about. So a very short break and we'll be right back.
No denying Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. Every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice,
How do you make a man a man? How do you let a man be a man and own up to his responsibilities?
How would you prevent passing on trauma?
I do not believe in licks as discipline. So how should I go forward now with discipline? I'm not encouraging anyone to go out there and get pregnant.
Join us for part 2 of Words from a Mother as we hear from former participants of the program for adolescent mothers PAM. This Sunday, May 17th from 6 p.m. on Tobago Updates.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We got beauty.
Thank you, viewers, and welcome back. We are speaking to Alston Patron Jr., owner of AJ's Healing Therapies, and this time we would be introduced to some of the products that are available. So if you can just tell us, what you brought to us in studio, give us a little idea of the use, and of course we would also let our viewers know where you are located, because of course you do operate here in Tobago as well. So let's talk about the packages on the table.
Sure. A lot of sport athletes I deal with, and they give me a whole host of stuff that they taken. Some of them think it's good,
right?
But after assessment and their performance, it's not. So we have developed a product, a male enhancing product that has over 12 simple yet very effective products. It's how it's prepared. It's
right.
Especially there's the process of roasting. There's the process of measurement. Per dose, micro dose is very important as how the body absorbs.
Right.
So rather than have like 100 pills, I put everything in one with the right dosing. That's very effective.
Right.
Hair, skin, teeth, nails, hormonal balance, testosterone, and it's doing really well.
Right.
Not only in sales but performance.
Right.
Performance. And so the ladies start to get jealous in the clinic. So
because I was not going to ask you, what if that's for the men, what's for the ladies?
The ladies start to get jealous.
Right.
So what you give my husband? I say, okay, all right, let me give you something to match the energy also.
Right.
So we have the female enhancing tonic. Again, hair, skin, teeth, nails, nervous system, energy levels, and to prevent one of the formulas, well, a few of the formulas we put together is to help with the chronic monthlies pain.
The pain, right? Yes.
And to also prevent stuff like PCOS, cysts, and so on.
Yes.
So the female wellness tonic is doing very well, not only in sales but in performance.
Right.
Next, and everything we inculcate anti-inflammatory, because we live in a very toxic society. Not only at the workplace or home, but the environment. Right. Next, we have magnesium glycinate, which I strongly recommend for all clients on the healing journey. There are different types of magnesium glycinate. What person should do is take the correct magnesium that's needed for you.
Right.
So everybody say, I'm going to buy some magnesium taurate or citrate. That's not what you need.
Right. Don't just go in the pharmacy and ask for magnesium.
Yeah. All right. So magnesium glycinate is to help relax the nerve, boost circulation, and put the nervous system to sleep.
Right.
So you get proper inertia. All right. Next, B complex. Everybody is crazy about the Bs. All right. Some people need a specific B. Right. But all the Bs are required. We have two types of B complex. We have cyanocobalamin and we have metacobalamin. The cyanocobalamin is lab made. The metacobalamin is the natural plant extract one, which wise persons will choose. Next, we have D3 and K2, which is very integral to prevent bone degeneration.
Right. Yes.
So, and make sure that there's K2 in your D3.
Right.
Is best absorbed in the system with K2 is the perfect potassium. All right. I want to thank so much my hard-working staff.
Yes.
We have hard-working, committed nurse assistants. We have Miss Kathy, and Miss Vilma, who works very hard into calming the clients, letting them trust the process.
Right, and that's very important.
Yes, right. And my spouse and business partner, Lisa Morales, come off the studio here, You have to mention integral persons, yes? She was very integral in my journey as to becoming not only a recognized therapist, but somebody who cares and give results.
Important, yes, yeah.
So she has been very integral in my journey, and I want to thank you so much for this opportunity because well, I am a half breed, as they call me. My grandmom was from Tobago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the Tobago is in the blood somewhere. Yes, very well. So tell our viewers where they can avail of your services. Where are you located?
Right, so I'm in Maracas Valley, St. Joseph, Trinidad,
Right.
and I'm in Sosolands, Tobago.
And how can you be contacted?
Yeah, the office number, anytime, all day. You can harass Miss Kathy. 353-4452. That's 353-4452.
And of course, Miss Kathy is in studio with us. She's just not on camera, but she's here providing support to AJ. She's integral to the operation, and of course, she is here. So, you know, how would you encourage persons listening? Because some of us are not open to these types of therapies.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
we hear about it, that kind of thing, but people are sometimes cautious, and rightfully so, because you
Yes.
need to be comfortable
Correct.
coming into it.
Correct.
What would you tell them?
I was given an analogy. You buy a fruit, it's gonna decay. Yeah?
Yeah.
You put out a cold bottle of water, it's gonna adapt to the temperature around. Yeah? This body of ours, it's deteriorating slowly. Right before our eyes. Yeah? Bit by bit, your shoulder strength is gonna go. Bit by bit, yeah, eyesight is gonna be on the decline. So maintenance is required. Yeah? There is a issue. Well, I call it an issue because it's a matter that I hold dear to my heart. Every family will have an aging relative.
Yeah.
Yeah. The less you take granny out for a walk on the lawn, it's more stress for you. The day is gonna come where she can't stand at all.
Yes,
the knee can't bear the load.
True.
Yeah. Take granny out for a walk on the lawn. Let her get at least 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That injury you keep petting up and don't want to take care of, it's gonna require surgery. Yeah. Sometimes not. Most times not, because the quick fix is surgery now.
Right.
And then I have to work on top somebody's work.
Right.
All right. And what I try to encourage other therapists to do is let's remove the competition and let's deal with healing the matter.
Yeah.
Because if I'm to talk about how much bad work I have worked on, I'll literally write a journal with the sad stories.
Yeah.
Maintenance is very big on my list. Maintenance and consistency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lose the fear of taking care of something that could compound into something that doesn't have to be.
And reality is, when we have our vehicles, when we have equipment, we maintain.
Oh boy, I see people
We maintain,
vehicle
we
look
spend money.
better than them.
Yeah, you know, you want this coat on your vehicle, you want that. And the thing is, if unfortunately, if you do get in an accident, the good side of it, the vehicle can be fixed, it can be replaced. But with our bodies, it's not easy. You can't go shopping for an arm like that, you know, some internal organ. So we really should pay more attention to our bodies. And, you know, I want to thank you for coming and sharing with us, telling our viewers, you know, about this side of medicine, alternative medicine, the natural way. And, you know, you can do your own research. And even as you mentioned, AJ, we also have to be careful who we go to, because not everybody who says they are, they are.
Exactly.
You know, so we want to thank you so much for sharing with us. And of course, viewers, you can avail of these services right here in Tobago. And you can, you know, just look up AJ's Healing Therapies, and you can also get more information. So viewers, thank you so much for staying with us. It is Friday, the start of our weekend. And as I always encourage you, you are your brother's keeper. So let's continue to look out for each other. Thank you for staying with us this morning.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.